Hi guys, Arachno Dan here, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing the Nhandu incident. Unfortunately, the other day when I rehoused my Nhandu Chromatus into a glass enclosure, the enclosure had one of these grills on top. Now the tarantula tried to chew through this, and in doing so broke one of its fangs. I'm going to explain in this video why these lids should never be used for a tarantula, so hopefully you don't experience the same thing. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. So we'll start with the rehousing of the Nhandu, which I was taking out of this plastic container into this glass enclosure, as I think it is the right size for this enclosure now. Now these enclosures are okay, but I thought the grill on top wouldn't be a problem. Unfortunately, I was wrong about this. I thought you didn't have to worry about the mesh tops, as this is just one solid piece of metal with the holes cut out. I didn't think the tarantula could get stuck in this lid, but unfortunately when it puts its fangs through they can get stuck and break off. Let's start by removing all of the decorations in the enclosure. I always like to use tongs, as you don't know what the spider is going to do, and it could just bolt out of its hide any moment and try and attack me, thinking I'm a prey item. Also, this species has urticating hairs, as it is a New World species, so you don't really want to use your hands, as the hairs can be left in the substrate, and if these get onto your hands it can be really nasty. Later on in the video I do put some gloves on when I'm handling the substrate from this enclosure. And as I say that, I do decide to use my hands to remove the hide of the tarantula. Then using a catch cup, I will just place this over the tarantula and try and coax it up the side. I've got a pair of curved tongs which I find is easier to slide underneath the cup to get the tarantula to go upwards. Now the Nhandu can be quite a feisty tarantula, so it's always better to keep catch cups lying around, as you don't know if the tarantula is going to escape. Luckily this tarantula does not escape. And with a bit of persuasion we can get it up inside the catch cup to safely move it out. It is deciding to be stubborn now. This particular tarantula that I own has had an incredible personality and is always very feisty and always eats no matter what. I'm hoping that losing a fang won't stop her from eating. And there we have the tarantula inside the catch cup. I'm going to show you my method of transferring substrate from one container to another. If you're using this technique, be sure that your other half is not in the house at the time, as they are very unlikely to be pleased with the outcome. After a quick tidy up and removing all the urticating hairs and cocoa fibre from my eating area, it is time to move on with the building of the enclosure. I'm going to fill the tank up with a bit more substrate and pat it down so the spider has a nice base to burrow or walk on. Then using an aquarium plant and a cork bark, I'm going to set up a basic terrestrial hide, which if you go to my other video I'll show you how to set up a basic terrestrial enclosure for a subadult tarantula. This is for a juvenile tarantula, so it's just that on a smaller level. As you can see, I'm wearing gloves. This is because of the urticating hairs that may be in the cocoa fibre, and I don't want to get these on my skin. And here is another basic terrestrial setup. You can make any enclosure look nice by just choosing some decorations. I find that aquarium decorations work very well, as you can hide the base in the substrate and it just gives it the effect of a natural plant. This is a fantastic species of tarantula, and is great for anyone looking to get into the hobby and get something a bit more feisty than the Gramistolas or the Brachypelma or the now Triticaltals. They can be very quick, and they can be quick to bite and quick to flick hairs, but as long as you take proper precautions, you should never be bit and you should never have an escaped tarantula. But as you can see, they are just beautiful spiders. Just the white and black legs with the red carapace just really makes them a unique tarantula. I'm so glad I picked this one up when I had the chance. And I hear they get quite large as well. Now, unfortunately, I came up to check on my tarantulas that night, and I had found my Nhandu Chromatus on the roof of its enclosure trying to bite through the mesh. As I persuaded the tarantula to move out of the way, I noticed that one of the fangs was still stuck in the roof. And instantly my heart sank, and I knew the tarantula had lost a fang. I was more concerned about the tarantula bleeding out. As you can see, a rather large blob of the hemolymph, which is the tarantula's blood, to the right of this picture. Luckily, a couple of hours later, the bleeding seemed to have stopped. Now, the next concern is the tarantula being able to eat its prey items. Now, I know it can still eat prey items with one fang, but it just may struggle to grip on and subdue any prey items that I offer to it. So I will be crushing the heads of all the prey items I'm offering. And I'll just have to wait out for a molt to make sure the tarantula's fangs grow back properly and it can continue to eat prey like the champion it is. I decided to change the grill out to this Perspex lid, which to create one of these, all you do is measure the opening for the lid and measure the depth of the sliders and buy a piece of Perspex to fit that size. Then using a really fine jigsaw blade, you can just cut across to cut the shape out. Then using a 3mm drill bit, you can carefully drill holes. I recommend placing something hard underneath the base of this and then drilling through onto the hard surface so you don't really split the plastic. But if you would like to share this video to warn everyone about the dangers of using these metal lids, then feel free to do so. And yeah, it could have been a lot worse. If it had broke both fangs, then this spider may not survive till its next molt, and unfortunately it would die. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you.